Elaine wiped the counter for the third time that morning, yet the kitchen still felt messy. Sound familiar? After 65, some cleaning habits we've trusted for decades can quietly turn against us. They don't just waste time, they create more clutter, more stress, and more confusion. In this guide, we'll uncover 10 habits that might be sabotaging your space without you even realizing it. The first one? It's hiding in plain sight, and chances are you've done it today. 1. Overcleaning certain areas while ignoring others. Elaine always started her day the same way, by polishing her dining table, not because it needed it, but because it was a habit. It gleamed, it always gleamed, but right behind it, the entryway was gathering clutter, bags, keys, mail, untouched for days. This is a trap many of us fall into. We polish the familiar, we scrub the comfortable, we become experts at one corner of the house, while other areas slowly, quietly, fall into disorder. It's not laziness, it's comfort. We reach for the same surfaces because they're predictable, and predictable feels safe. But here's the tricky bit. Overcleaning a space doesn't make your whole home cleaner. It creates imbalance. It makes the ignored parts feel messier by comparison. That hallway chair becomes invisible, buried in coats, the bathroom corner, dusty. Meanwhile, that same table gets a fourth polish. Let's shift this. Instead of over-focusing, try the 3-zone rotation. Pick one often neglected area, one medium maintained spot, and one you usually overclean. Give each 10 minutes. Use a timer if needed. This tiny shift balances attention and removes the guilt from skipping your favorite go-to clean zone. Emotionally, this tip matters because women like Elaine, and perhaps you too, often use cleaning as emotional regulation. It's soothing, even meditative, but balance matters more than perfection. You deserve peace in every room, not just the polished ones. 2. Using too many cleaning products. Elaine had a shelf, maybe you do too, filled with half-used bottles, lemon fresh, spring breeze, lavender blast, antibacterial sprays, foam cleaners, vinegar solutions, you name it. Some bought out of curiosity, some from a TV ad, others from well-meaning neighbors. The promise? This one will finally make it easy. But the result? Chaos. She could barely find the product she needed. One bottle leaked, another smelled too strong, and in the end, her house didn't feel cleaner, just more chemically confusing. Here's what happens emotionally. When we reach for different products constantly, it's often a sign we're second-guessing ourselves. It's a symptom of overwhelm. Too many choices make everything feel harder. It's not just a cluttered shelf, it becomes a cluttered mind. Here's a new approach. Pick 3. 1 all-purpose surface spray, 1 gentle floor cleaner, 1 specialty product for your trickiest spot, like a glass spray or a limescale remover. That's it. Store the rest in a labeled backup box in a closed cabinet. If you don't use them in 3 months, donate or dispose of them safely. Why does this matter? Because too many tools can leave us feeling like we're never doing enough. Fewer tools means fewer decisions, and fewer decisions mean more calm. It's not about giving up control. It's about taking back your energy. Elaine now swears by her 3-only method. It's funny, she said. My home smells better now. And it's not even lavender. We've only just started, but already the fog is lifting for Elaine, and perhaps for you too. These habits weren't wrong. They were rooted in care, in effort, in the desire to make a home feel right. But now you've seen how even the most loving routines can turn sideways over time. Take a deep breath. You're doing better than you think. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's one cleaning habit you've held on to for years? Even if it no longer serves you, let me know in the comments. I read every one. 3. Not decluttering before cleaning. It's funny how we can spend an hour cleaning a room and still feel like something's off. That was Elaine last Thursday. She vacuumed, dusted, wiped surfaces, yet the space still felt heavy, not dirty, just uninviting. And then it clicked. She was cleaning around the clutter, not removing it. Let's say you wipe a surface but don't move the stack of magazines or that candle you've had since 2002. You clean around it, and just like that, your brain still registers visual noise. It's like sweeping leaves in the yard, but ignoring the fallen branches. They're both on the ground, but one's just heavier. Here's the thing. Cleaning without decluttering is like frosting a cake you never baked. It looks better from far away, but up close, something's off. Start with a small promise. Before I clean, I'll clear just 5 items I don't need right now. It could be expired coupons, unused decor, a stray receipt, or that pen that hasn't worked since 2017. No guilt, no overhauls, just 5. Emotionally, this matters because clutter isn't just physical. It's memory, it's decisions, it's delayed emotions. By gently removing it before cleaning, you're not just tidying up, you're lifting invisible weight off your heart. You're reclaiming space to breathe. Elaine now calls it her pre-clean reset. She says, "It's like giving my home a chance to exhale first." 4. Leaving out cleaning tools for easy access. For a long time, Elaine kept her broom behind the bedroom door. The vacuum stood guard by the hallway closet, and the mop permanently leaning near the laundry sink. It felt practical, easy, smart. But one day, she caught her reflection walking past the broom, and she sighed, not because of the broom, but because it made the room feel like a utility closet, not a home. We do this out of love for efficiency, but tools are tools, not decor. When we leave them out, they whisper a message. There's more work to do. Even if the house is spotless, that standing vacuum in your line of sight tells your brain, not done yet. And emotionally, that can be draining. For many of us, our homes are our sanctuaries. After 65, we deserve more peace and less visual reminders of to-do lists. So here's a small shift. Choose a home for each tool, a real one. If space is tight, even a simple fabric curtain or a repurposed basket with a lid can help hide the work so the room can rest. And so can you. Elaine now tucks her broom behind a closet door with a hook she installed herself. "Funny," she said with a grin, "my hallway looks twice as wide now." By this point, Elaine was starting to feel lighter, not because she'd done anything dramatic, but because the energy in her home was changing. Fewer tools in sight, less clutter weighing down surfaces. Her favorite chair no longer lived in the shadow of a mop. Each shift built upon the last. She still polished her dining table, but now she did it after clearing the space around it. She still used her trusty all-purpose spray, but only one, and it smelled like lemon zest, instead of the old chemical bouquet. And when she finished, she actually sat down, with a cup of tea, in silence. Because that's the real gift of these changes, not just a cleaner home, but a calmer heart. Let's pause for a moment. Have you noticed how these little things, like where we keep our broom, or whether we declutter before we dust, can change the whole feel of a space? Not just the way it looks, but how it welcomes you. Now I'd love to know, what's one item you always leave out, just in case, and how does it make you feel when you see it? Share your thoughts in the comments. You're not alone, and you might just inspire someone else. 5. Washing windows or mirrors too often. Elaine always loved the way the sun poured through her living room window, casting golden stripes across the carpet. So naturally, she cleaned that window often. Windex, microfiber, squeegee, the works. She wiped it until it squeaked. But after a while, something odd happened. The glass never looked quite clean. It streaked more easily. It felt dull. It turns out, there's such a thing as too much. Overwashing glass, especially with strong products, can actually leave behind a residue that builds up over time. Each swipe adds a new invisible film, and eventually, it catches more dust, not less. So while it feels like staying on top of things, it's quietly backfiring. Why do we do it? Because we want that clarity, that sparkle, that moment when the sunlight hits and the house glows. But clarity doesn't come from repetition. It comes from intention. Here's a better rhythm. Wash windows seasonally, and spot clean as needed. Pick 4 times a year, maybe at the start of each season. Use a diluted vinegar mix, or a gentle cleaner that doesn't leave residue. And on regular days, just wipe fingerprints with a soft, dry cloth. Emotionally, this matters because it's about learning to let light in, without chasing perfection. You don't need to polish glass daily to deserve a bright, beautiful space. Elaine says now, I let the light shine through the smudges. Sometimes, life's like that, and the sun still finds its way in. 6. Ignoring daily tidy habits because of deep clean days. Once a week, Elaine would set aside her deep clean day. She'd block off her morning, roll up her sleeves and get to work. Scrubbing, rearranging, dusting baseboards. The works. It felt productive, sacred even. But the day before and after, not so much. Dishes stacked up, mail piled, things got messy, and slowly a new problem crept in. Her cleanings became exhausting resets, not maintenance. It started feeling like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Here's the insight. When deep clean days replace daily habits, mess accumulates in the gaps. And it's not just physical. Emotionally, it creates stress. We start to dread the cleaning days because we're playing catch-up instead of keeping pace. So what's the fix? Shift from all or nothing to a little every day. Think of cleaning like brushing your teeth. You don't wait for plaque buildup and then scrub for 2 hours. You do a little daily and deep clean when needed. Try this. Each morning, pick one 5-minute task. Wipe kitchen counters. Clear the mail stack. Tidy the bathroom sink. It doesn't have to be dramatic, just consistent. Over time, the home feels calmer, and the deep clean days, they become lighter, not heavier. Elaine now pairs her tea with her tidy. I do one thing while the kettle boils. She smiles. Turns out peace fits in 5 minutes. Notice something. These aren't wild changes. They don't require new tools, more energy, or a complete lifestyle overhaul. But they do create a shift, from reacting to the mess, to shaping the mood of your space. Elaine's journey wasn't about perfection. It was about peace, about choosing balance, about realizing that a clean home isn't a performance. It's a partnership, with yourself, with your energy, and with the place you call home. Now it's your turn. What's one small daily habit you could try this week that might make your home feel just a little calmer? Share it in the comments. You might be surprised how your idea helps someone else breathe easier too. 7. Wiping counters without clearing first. Picture this. Elaine finishes dinner, grabs a cloth and wipes down the kitchen counter, around the bread box, past the napkin holder, carefully navigating the salt shaker, and that sweet little vase with faux daisies. She wipes and wipes and wipes, but the crumbs, they just scatter. The grime, it settles behind the knickknacks. The clean, well, it's mostly performative. Sound familiar? This is a sneaky one. Wiping surfaces without fully clearing them feels productive, but it's often just spreading mess into hiding. Over time, sticky rings from a teacup, dust under the spice rack, or that mystery smudge near the toaster just build up and dull the entire space. Here's a gentle shift. Clear, then clean. Start with 1 surface per day, just 1. Remove everything. Wipe thoroughly, then put items back with intention. You might realize you don't even want everything to go back. Elaine didn't. That flower vase now lives on the windowsill instead, and her counter finally feels like a clean canvas. Why does this matter emotionally? Because women often carry the invisible weight of presentation, of keeping up appearances, even at home. But real calm doesn't live in the illusion of clean. It lives in clear space, easy breathing, and fewer crumbs hiding under things. 1 surface, 1 moment of honesty. That's where peace begins. 8. Using old, ineffective tools. Elaine's mop had a story. Bought in 1998 during a spring sale, it had survived spills, storms, and 3 kitchen makeovers. It was dependable until it wasn't. The head flopped, the fibers were frayed, and no matter how hard she scrubbed, the floor still looked streaky. And yet, she held on to it, because it was familiar, because it felt wasteful to toss it, because, like many women, she'd been taught to make do, not replace. But here's the truth. Outdated tools quietly sabotage your efforts. They take twice the time, they leave less than satisfying results. And worst of all, they whisper a lie, that you are the one falling short, when really, it's the tool that's past its prime. Think of it like gardening with rusty shears. You'll still get there, but it'll be harder and messier. So here's your moment. Evaluate your essentials. Does your broom still sweep clean? Does your duster actually dust? Or just spread it around? Replacing one item, just one, can shift everything. And no, it doesn't mean discarding memories. You can repurpose that mop as a garage tool, or retire it with thanks. But for your daily use, you deserve tools that work. Elaine bought herself a new microfiber mop, lightweight, easy to wring. It glides, she said, laughing, like it wants to clean for me. Emotionally, this tip matters because it's about permission. Permission to upgrade, to stop settling, to believe you're worth tools that serve you well, not wear you out. By now, Elaine wasn't just cleaning differently, she was living differently. Her counters weren't just wiped, they were freed. Her tools weren't just used, they were chosen. She no longer felt like she was losing a battle with her house. She felt at home. There's something sacred in these shifts, something gentle. They aren't loud or dramatic, but they're yours. So now, I want to know, is there a cleaning tool you've been holding on to for years, even though it's seen better days? Why do you think it's hard to let go? Tell me in the comments. I promise you're not the only one. Number 9. Cleaning without a plan or schedule. Elaine once cleaned by instinct. She'd wake up, feel a burst of energy, and attack the hallway closet like it had offended her. The next week, she might do nothing at all. Her method was spontaneous, and for a while it worked, but over time, the randomness became exhausting. She never knew where to begin. Everything started to blur together, and some areas got cleaned twice, others, not at all. Sound familiar? Without a light, flexible cleaning plan, even the most energetic intentions turn into chaotic cycles. It's not about rigid calendars or hour-by-hour routines. It's about having a simple map to follow, one that helps your brain say, ah yes, today, just the bathroom sink. Here's a gentle way to start. Create a 7-day loop, not a must-do or fail list, but a rotation. Day 1, living room surfaces. Day 2, kitchen counters and fridge handles. Day 3, bathroom sink and mirror. You get the idea. Make your own list, and give yourself permission to skip a day if life calls. You can always loop back. Emotionally, this matters because unpredictability breeds guilt. When women like Elaine lose track of what's done, cleaning becomes an invisible burden. A low hum of I should, but with a soft structure, that hum quiets. Cleaning becomes lighter, more rhythm, less rush. Elaine now uses a tiny notepad she keeps by the fridge. One task per day. Some days I forget, she shrugs, but when I don't, I feel proud. 10. Doing it all alone. This one's personal. Elaine had always been the one doing holidays, chores, hospital runs, decorating. She'd taken pride in handling things. But after 70, the stairs felt steeper, the bins felt heavier, and the clutter started whispering things like, you can't keep up anymore. But she didn't ask for help, because asking felt like giving up, like admitting something had changed. And that's the part no one talks about, that emotional tug-of-war between independence and reality. Until one Saturday, her grandson came over. He watched her struggle with the vacuum cord. Quietly, without a word, he plugged it in, wound it up neatly, and said, there, now you don't have to wrestle it. He didn't offer pity, just presence. It opened something. Here's the truth. Doing it all alone isn't a badge of honor. It's a slow, silent kind of isolation. And many women carry that weight with quiet grace, never knowing they don't have to. So here's your invitation. Share the load. Maybe that means asking your niece to help you reorganize a cabinet. Maybe it's hiring a part-time cleaner once a month. Maybe it's just saying, can you reach that for me? Without apology. Because emotionally this one matters more than most. Support isn't weakness, it's a gift. For them, for you, for the space you both get to breathe in together. Elaine now invites her neighbor for what she calls companionship cleaning. They sip tea, wipe a shelf, and laugh more than they dust. And her home? It feels full, not just of tidiness, but of life. We've traveled a long, lovely path with Elaine, from over-polishing and chemical clutter to quiet joys and shared effort. And maybe along the way, you saw yourself in her story, because truthfully, we're all learning how to live lighter. Now I'd love to know, have you ever struggled to ask for help with cleaning or home care? What held you back? And what helped you move forward? Drop a line in the comments. Your honesty might be the gentle nudge another woman needs today. So who knew a mop and a messy drawer could teach us so much, right? Clean smarter, not harder, and laugh a little while you're at it. Hit that like button if Elaine's story felt familiar, and tell us your biggest aha in the comments. We're all in this together, crumbs and all.